Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an episode of The Locker Room. It is week 20. It is episode 20. It is the divisional round. We're finding out who's who in the zoo when it comes to NFL. Also, the last game, who to determine who the national champion is, will be Notre Dame, Ohio State. They'll be discussed. As always, please subscribe. For the love of God, just do that. It helps us. It doesn't hurt you at all. Then comment. A little extra work there, but once again, helps us. And then today, Will Compton had one last week. I decided to take my cap, put it in the ring. We are both doing some juicy little parlays for you. This is The Locker Room. Delanie Walker is here. Will Compton is here. My name is Taylor Lewan. Let's have a hell of a day, boys.
Boys, welcome to The Locker Room. We are presented by Fireball Whiskey. So many things make football great, but you know what the best thing is? Kicking the living shit out of your rival, and there's absolutely no better feeling as an athlete or fan. And Fireball Whiskey is here to give you the spark to ignite that rivalry all season long. Grab your football buddy, buy a round, and reignite that rivalry flame. Fellas, I went 1-9 last week.
Listen, brother.
I lost pretty much every pick.
It happens.
You're in a great position, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you're
in a great spot.
You're still in first place.
Because you can't get much worse than that.
Yeah, but 1-9 is a bad weekend.
That is a bad week.
It's harder to go
1-9 than 9-1. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
True.
And I cooked up a bomb of a playoff Willie Parlay, and shout out to 40,000 people that were in on that.
40,000 people.
We lost in the first leg because of Delanie's Chargers. But I do have a stick of dynamite cooked up for the Ballsy Parlay later to go along with that.
I like that. And if people are thinking to themselves, I don't know if I want to tail Will again after having 40,000 and the first leg dies, I'm coming in also. I got one little sleeper. It's a little less odds than yours are, but I think both of them have massive potential. Massive potential.
What happened to the Chargers last week?
God damn.
What happened to Herbert?
Tough week. It was a tough week, man. Tough week. Getting to that, when you ain't been there before, sometimes you get those
They've been
bugs.
They've been there before.
Yeah.
He with Justin?
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember Jacksonville a couple years ago?
He's starting to get the image of kind of like Lamar has been in the position before where you have a great regular season, you can't win a playoff game.
People are calling him Justin Yips Herbert.
No, I mean, it happens. I don't fault him. He's taking a lot of blame right now, man, and hopefully he bounced back from all of that, but they were bad. They just played very bad, and Houston had their number. It is hard playing in Houston. We all know that.
It's tough.
I know, but you start off 6-0, and the score, like you guys know as players, you're like, this should be a 14-0 ball game. And the fact that they're still kind of in this game.
Yeah. They got in their own way on offense, similar to the way that the Packers did against the Philadelphia Eagles. It was just kind of tough. And the Houston kind of let them ruin the game for themselves as opposed to being a shootout battle. Both teams are playing well type of situation. It was, the Chargers got in their own way. Yeah. And that stuff happens. But you look back at Michigan, I hate to bring it back to them, 3 years ago, they lost the first round of the playoffs. The next year they lost again in the first round, but then they won it all.
I see it.
Who knows? Who knows?
Hardball.
History. Hardball might happen in a couple of years.
Texans defense came alive, too.
Oh, my God.
Will Anderson is him.
Yeah,
Will was actually with Corey Levin, our boy Corey Levin, and Dylan Radins. And while we're watching the game, I'm like, hey, is he really like that? They're like, oh, yeah. He's really like that.
Seen him at training camp?
He looks like him.
Yeah, they did.
He can tie his shoes without bending over. Like he's got
that
everything.
Boy hands is like
got hams.
He's got length.
It's like
he's got length.
That's what you look for as
he's got
the combine.
Length. He's got bend. Yeah. Can he scratch his shins without moving?
Moving.
Yep. He's gonna be solid.
We were in when we were in Chicago and Groom was there. He was breaking down the whole length thing, and they'll measure out like they get your height, then they get your wingspan. But if your wingspan is like more than your height, it's like say you're +6. That's when you know a guy like has length. Like if you have like a +6, you know a guy's working with length. You know guess what your boy was?
-4.
3.5.
0. I'm a perfect square.
Let's go, kid.
Square.
Come on now.
Okay.
Well, you got some length on you.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you do got big arms, so it's like you can't really tell.
Yeah.
Stand up for a second. Yeah, you got some length.
Turn around.
Because I struggle to get my hands in my pockets.
Delanie put his full forearm in his pockets.
Yeah.
That is true. The length thing. The thing for offensive linemen is like you can have all the length in the world, but a lot of guys don't even use it. You watch Lane Johnson. Guy's got crazy length. Doesn't really use his length. He likes to.
Don't you want to hear?
Come on over here. Let me hold you for a second.
I like it to be like, because then I can hold you. When I like extend, that hole get outside of my frame, you see it. But if I pull you right here and it start getting out of my frame, I just kind of go with it. You know what I mean?
See, I was like that in college, where I would like to get everybody in here nice and tight, and then because I was just stronger than guys. But then I got to the league,
and they were
then
strong.
The size of my legs really started to get exposed, and I was like, bro, I got to use this length for real. Mike Sullivan was like, listen, you can't be just playing basketball out here. Like, you need to use your length. Without Mike Sullivan, I'm not here.
Before we dive into the games, and before you say anything, I won't say anything. You were in the group chat.
Yeah.
The unfolding of the $1,000 bet on Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
Did you read it? Did you read it?
You said not to say anything. So do you want me to say
I don't
something?
want us to say anything. What's your opinion?
What's your opinion on it?
You have more of a zoomed
What's
out
your
view.
opinion on it? Then we going anybody else who heard it out here, I want to hear their opinion too. What's your opinion?
Delanie's trying to get out of the bet.
I ain't trying to.
He said bet off. You said bet off.
I said
bet off.
If he becomes a head coach in the NFL,
Deion Sanders.
If Deion Sanders become a coach in the NFL, the bet is off. He realizes his son may not go in the first round. Why leave
That's
Colorado?
why you think he's trying to get in the league because his son's not going to go in the first round?
He wants to coach his son. He said it.
Comments are just going to go out. Here goes Delanie, just standing on business. I don't know what he's saying right now.
My favorite thing about this show is that Delanie has
bro?
no idea what he's talking about, yet he still talks.
Delaney.
Are you crazy? I always win. I haven't lost a bet to Will yet. So it doesn't matter. I can say whatever I
You're
want.
1-0.
That's all that matters.
Hey, and you trying to get out of a bet.
I'm not trying to get out. If he becomes a head coach, come on, bro. If you had a son and you had the opportunity to be a head coach, would you draft your son in the first round?
Depends if he earned it or not.
Just shut the fuck up, man.
I don't do.
I'm not going to sit here and take my son if he's like if it was me and I was like an undrafted cat. I'm not becoming a head coach to draft Will in the first round.
Yeah, you would.
Bill's not drafting.
I mean,
Will
I might.
Bill would draft you.
But I'm saying, you actually think Deion's trying to be a head coach so his son can get drafted in the first round?
Definitely.
Delanie, that is, I mean.
Definitely.
I love the fact that you guys are like, Taylor, we want to hear your opinion. We're not going to say anything, then proceed to say all of the things. But I will say this, like,
the bet
you made originally, it's a bad bet. He's going to get drafted in the top 3 rounds. There's no doubt about it.
I win if he get drafted. In the third round, I win.
There's like a 90. Okay, so there's a 99% chance.
Saying that.
There's a 99% chance he gets drafted in the first 2 rounds. 99% chance.
We'll see.
For him, his dad becoming a head coach. Does it add a little extra oomph to it? Yeah, but you made the bet. You're going to stand by the bet. That's what the bet is.
You made the bet, and that's always been a rumor the entire time.
So now it's been a rumor. Oh my God. Is he contradicting himself right now, guys? He just
Don't shake your head.
Shut the fuck up. Thumbs up. Yeah.
But
I'm saying when he makes the bet, he understands all
I
this
didn't realize that because I asked y'all.
No, I said it's always been a topic of discussion.
I said, do y'all think Deion Sanders leaves to go to the NFL? Y'all literally said on the show, no, why would he? The Colorado is balling. Why would he do that?
Yeah, but it's still an option. It's still talked about that he would go.
There's always an option of him going. And he did talk to
him.
He talked to Jerry. He talked to Jerry Jones.
I was gonna say he can't go become a head coach of Dallas the same way Vrabel's gonna become a head coach.
If he go to look, this is all I'm saying. If he go to Dallas, bet still on because they not gonna get rid of Dak because the pay they gotta pay Dak. They're not gonna draft the first round quarterback. I'll take that bet. If he go to the Raiders,
I think you should bet that actually.
If he go to the Raiders, cut it.
We have a bet.
Cut it. If he go to the Raiders, cut it.
You should go to a new bet. If Deion goes to Dallas,
the bet's still
that's
on.
where Shedeur Sanders is going to go. He will go to Dallas.
Well, not as a first round draft pick. Let's take that. Because you think they gonna cut Dak when they owe him all of that money? You crazy. Let's take that bet. If he go to the Raiders, bet off. Because they're gonna draft him in the first round. I guarantee it.
We have a bet in place.
The bet stands. Like Delanie, I told you the minute you made that bet, regardless of what's transpired in the last week and a couple of days, you made a bad bet.
No, at the Deion Sanders bet is the Deion Sanders thing is crazy,
$1,000.
bro. The Deion, if he go to it just don't make sense.
And also, you could run the film back from last week.
The people in the
he literally goes, I don't even follow the draft. I don't follow college football. And then he wants to make a bet about college football kids going to the draft. 2 things he does. He's literally said, I don't know about.
Who's there? I go to the draft. Who goes to the combine every year? Me. Who sees all of that? Me. I know what's going to happen. I've talked to these scouts. I've sat in the rooms with tight ends, running backs, and quarterbacks as they do their interviews. I'm in the rooms. Come on, I know. Who's been there every year?
How many years in a row? I was there the last 3
I've been
years.
there 3 years in a row. We 3 years in a
People
row.
watching, should Delanie be tied to his word and his handshake to not get out of this bet? Or
Is Delanie a real
should
man or
he
is
be
he
able
not?
to avoid his bet if Deion Sanders becomes a head coach? Because the bet is, if Shedeur Sanders doesn't get drafted in the first two rounds, Delanie
rounds.
wins $1,000. If he gets drafted in the first 2 rounds because he's a good quarterback,
He
because he's going to
wins.
be graded out well, I'm going to win the bet. He's going to get drafted in the first 2 rounds no matter if
So
he
then
gets in the round.
let's do it. Let's put the
We have a bet. Let's
See,
let,
whoa,
we'll let the
whoa.
audience decide,
You
right?
so guaranteed that he's gonna get drafted even without his pops. Let's do the bet. If his pops go to the NFL and becomes a head coach only for the Raiders, bet off. Anywhere else, also the Giants. Anywhere else is the bet is off.
Delanie.
Yeah, or Bears.
He
Or
ain't
anybody
go-
that's high.
You can go to the Bears. He can go to the Bears. They ain't gonna draft the quarterback in the first round. I'm telling you, where it's a quarterback. If he goes there, they ain't drafting a quarterback
Delanie,
in the first round.
the way my mind works is you've made a bet. That bet stands. If you want to make another bet, you're more than welcome to talk to
No
Will
bet
about that.
changes when stuff like that happens, though,
What do
bro.
you
Because
mean?
we have
Sherm
a
had
bet.
a question. Hang on, Sherm
ahead,
had a
Sherm.
question.
I have a question because it does appear to be a 2-on-1. Delanie's outnumbered. I just wanted to help Delanie out.
Of
I
course
think-
you do.
I think an easy fix here. If Dion drafts Shedeur, bets off.
There you
Across
go.
the board. If
There you
Dion
go.
drafts Shedeur in the first 2 rounds, bets off.
I like that. I like
So
that.
fair.
Hey, is
It's
that
fair.
It's
fair?
just another voice. It's the same thing.
Yeah, he's trying to voice the same thing Delanie was saying in the group chat,
Yeah.
where he's like, bet off.
Yeah.
Deion's head coach, bet off.
Sherm's is at his house with that loud ass fan on next to his wife playing Call of Duty. And thinking to
Man, he
himself,
needed
oh,
for
yeah,
his
it's a good
girl.
idea.
You know she's pregnant. She get hot faster. You know that.
It's a sound machine.
Oh, a sound machine. A
It's
sound
a
machine that can't
fan.
go on mute
It's a-
when we're all playing
it's
Call
a
of Duty.
fan. She getting hot.
I'll say I think Delanie.
What do you think?
I think it just depends on what kind of man Delanie wants to be. Does he want to be a guy that runs and hides when things don't go right, or does he want to be a man
I
that
wanna
stands
be a
up
fair
and takes
man.
one on the chin?
I want to be a fair man.
Yeah,
I
a
don't.
fair man shakes a hand.
I
and
don't
does his
throw.
thing.
I don't
Like, you do
throw
what you want.
games. I don't throw games. This is like throwing a game.
I think it's a fun
Becoming head coach,
conversation.
like
I think it's a
throwing
fun
game.
conversation. But if you end up going the Sherm route,
Hey, let's
know.
get to the show. We could talk about this all forever.
let the people decide.
Let the
too.
people decide.
Let the people
Let
decide.
the people
Let the
decide.
comments decide. I will say though, Delanie had a good showing on the stream last week. The people might be on his side.
It might be.
It might be on his side.
But
Let's talk
they're on
ball. Let's talk ball.
If they're on our side, if Deion's a head coach, it doesn't pertain to him getting drafted in the second round. It's if Deion's a head coach and he's like a top 5 pick and Deion's picking, like maybe that.
Whatever, bro.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. First game. Texans at the Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 8.5. The over/under is 41.5. Delanie.
I'm taking the Texans to cover.
And
I'm taking
what
the
else?
Texans.
All
I'm
right.
taking the Texans to cover because
Let's pretend this is a show and we need something behind that.
No, I'm just saying. I'm giving. Look, CJ. What CJ and them did to the Chargers. Obviously, I wanted the Chargers to win. Houston came out, smacked me in the face. I was sitting there watching the game. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. And I made a bet on Willie fucking Paycheck's parlay, and I lost that bet. And it was all because of the Chargers, man. They let me down. But the Houston defense came through. They made plays. They had 4 takeaways. Really put them ahead of the game. The offense did what they had. They had Mixon out there giving them the business. Nico came back looking good. I really just think that Houston is going to be on fire this game, man. And I'm not saying they're going to win the game, but I think they're going to keep the game close. So I'm taking Texans to cover.
You know me, I like Texas to win this game outright.
I know. You taking the money line?
Well, I'm taking them with the points. But I can
Yep.
see this game going Texans win 27-24. Like the Chiefs offense hasn't been like that explosive throughout the entire
haven't
year.
at
Like they
all.
don't average that many points.
Yeah.
And I think too what you saw with the Texans last week, that defensive line just came alive. Like Daniel Hunter, why am I blanking? Alabama. Will Anderson.
Anderson.
Yeah, Will
Yeah.
Anderson Jr.
Most beautiful brain in the world.
Shahir, Al Shahir
Shahir.
flying around taking
Yeah.
heads off.
He could be
Taking
coming
heads up,
back
pushing
to
dudes
his,
right in
he
the
come
face.
back to himself.
Stingley having a couple
Yeah,
picks.
Stingley has some.
Like they were coming alive. They helped the offense get their shit in order. CJ Stroud started to toss it around a little bit. The question mark is going to be, can they play in the elements? It's going to be cold out there in Kansas City.
Yeah.
I do think the Chiefs having some time to kind of game plan this. They could come out hot and jump on them early. But you guys know I'm a hater of the Chiefs. I like the Texans with the points because I think they can keep it close. But you can also see like a field goal game here to when they win, where they win like 27-24.
I can see that happen. I can see that happen.
Yeah, I think when it comes to the Chiefs, like last year when I was going to the playoffs, everyone's like, Chiefs kind of fizzled out. Their offense is not as great. Their defense is playing better than their offense has. Then they get into the playoffs, and they just understand that time of year better than any other team. I'm going with you guys with Texans plus 8.5. But this is Mahomes' time. Like this is a team you don't have to worry about having a bye week. They understand the process. They're very used to having an extra week watching other teams play. They're going to be the most comfortable in this setting than any other team in the NFL landscape right now. Last time they played too, I'm sure C.J. Stroud feels some type of way about it because everyone kind of walked away from that game being like, "Wow, Houston sucks," and they lost the game by 8. I think they come in, they have a little more firepower behind them, but I think that defense stands up. We talked about Houston and the Chargers before, and last week, Chargers lost that game more than Houston won it. Like Houston's defense played really well, but like the offense was like not like spectacular by any means. They just took advantage of.
They hung around long enough
from the Chargers offense.
They started to get it going with Nico. Joe Mixon came alive.
Yeah, and Delanie Walker, he needs a special shout out. They had a couple of highlights of this guy.
Yeah.
He beats guys with power. He's got that length. He's got the leverage. He's a guy that has been sneaky good, sneaky like you got to worry about this guy every year he's been in the NFL. Dude that wasn't drafted high or maybe not drafted at all, and has worked his way into having some good checks and playing on multiple teams and doing really well. Had the opportunity to play with him at the Titans for a little bit. I like the Texans. I think this game is competitive, but if you're thinking about the script, if you're thinking about the refs throwing the flags, like this is not where the Chiefs' lives they end. It's going to have to be in an AFC Championship game, or most likely at the Super Bowls when they really go away, when the story kind of ends. You got a team going after a three-peat. I like the Texans plus 8.5. Hopefully they keep it that close.
Yeah, it's going to be a defensive game. I feel like both defenses are firing on all cylinders. So
I think it might be Chiefs.
Chiefs what?
To cover.
Because of all three of us?
That's the only
and you
thing.
just said, like, the Houston Texans offense, their offensive line is one of the more penalized offensive lines in the game. Like, again, going out to Kansas City in a playoff game in that type of environment, you got to be able to start fast. And the defense that the Chiefs is a very good defense.
Right, and look at just the game plan revolved around the Chiefs. Keep their offense off of the field. Get yourself to third and manageable situations. Contain Patrick Mahomes from a pocket standpoint, and make them earn every single yard. Like, don't let them take shots downfield. Stack the box when they got their certain personnels and their formations. It's going to be a difficult game for the Texans. A game that I think they match up well in from a defensive standpoint. I just think when you have Houston's offense versus the Chiefs' defense with Spags in the back calling, like he's understanding. They're a championship caliber team. Their scores throughout the year and how they've won doesn't say championship team, but their record sure as hell does, and their last 2 years sure as hell does. So it's like it's kind of hard to not believe in the Chiefs. I think this is a Chiefs win. I don't think we're thinking about like the Texans winning this game unless you're a vendetta type of guy, which I fully understand and embrace going through the college landscape area, but
Chiefs minus 8.5.
Okay, I like that.
Wait, what about is your parlay though?
And my parlay involves the over.
That's the only way
my parlay involves the over and the Chiefs having 21.5 plus.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like if Texas win that 27-24, both those things hit.
Yeah, they both hit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the more I think about it, Mitch has got a great stat on here too. C.J. Stroud was the second most sacked quarterback, being sacked 52 times, and the Texans have only one win against a team with a winning record at the end of the 2024 season.
Yeah.
Does the weather scare you guys at all? It's supposed to be
16 degrees is cold. That's cold.
I mean,
at kickoff and drop down to like.
I think it plays into the Chiefs' favor more.
No doubt. The
Texans
are an indoor.
I wouldn't say that.
Texans are an indoor
What
team.
do you mean?
We went out there and blew them. We beat their ass in the cold.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you mean?
You guys have an outdoor stadium though. Texans have a
Indoor stadium. I give you that. That's a good.
Yeah, I like. I don't know. The cold never bothered me.
It never bothered me neither.
It was the heat. It was December
heat.
going to Jacksonville.
It's the heat.
And it'd be like 80 degrees all of a sudden.
all like
you're
this.
like, yeah, IVs dying.
IVs dying.
That's the shit that was like you get used to kind of the cold and then you jump into one hot game, one humid game. That's the shit that I was always like, man, this shit is fucking draining.
Draining.
But when it comes to like cold, it's like
Nothing.
That you gotta smile when it's cold outside.
Yeah.
Like you kind of like got, hey, we're
Miami
really in
Dolphins
playoff
didn't last
football
year.
right
We
now.
here.
Kansas City.
Yeah,
We
I mean,
here.
different mentalities, different strokes for
Yeah.
different folks.
We here. That's what you gotta say.
I like the Texans plus 8.5. I would not be surprised if the Chiefs just run over.
We
Run
here.
them over. The thing that makes me most nervous is you now taking the Chiefs.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, penalized offensive line. You got Spags in the back, and they've had extra time to prepare for this. Getting after C.J. Stroud's ass because he's the second most sacked quarterback in the
The
league.
injuries that the Texans receivers have sustained
Oh
throughout
my
the year.
God.
Yeah.
They only got Nico.
The more we
really.
talk about it, the,
The
more
penalties.
I'm like, oh, this is
Because
the Chiefs'
playoff
mindset
football
now.
is like you need to take care of the football and eliminate penalties, eliminate dumb mistakes.
Yeah.
That is the only way to win at this point in the year. You cannot fuck around and have false starts, holdings, personal fouls. Someone swings at you, this is the only time of the year that you walk away.
You walk away.
This is the only time of the
Yeah,
year
you're right.
that you button it up and you get back in the huddle. So I'm with you because I think the Chiefs, I mean,
So are you Texans plus 8.5?
I'm staying Texans plus 8.5.
Yeah, I'm staying
Staying
Texans.
Texans,
I'm staying
Chiefs.
Texans.
All right, next one we got Commanders at the Lions. Spread, Lions are favored by 9.5. The over-under on this game, 55.5 points.
Yeah. This game,
Yeah.
I mean, it's Jaden Daniels is your guy. If it's going to happen, if you're going to cover this game, it's going to be because Jaden Daniels plays out of his mind. Terry McLaurin doesn't drop any footballs, and their defense plays the best football game of their life. The Lions have had so much adversity this year. They have had like 13, 14 guys on IR. You got Aiden Hutchinson sitting in a suite every single week, and the whole news thing around him is like could make it back for the Super Bowl. Dan Campbell's got the culture. He's got the players. He's got the offensive line. He's got the quarterback with the chip on his shoulder. I don't see a way that the Commanders come out and cover this game. I mean, it's got to be to cover 9.5 versus this team is going to be difficult, let alone win. I got the Lions all the way in this one. I love them. I love the Lions.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like the two most efficient offenses in the league. They're both the highest scoring. They both go for it the most on fourth down. Commanders actually are better at going for it on
Yeah,
fourth
they're
down.
better-
than
they're
the
better
Lions. It's
percentage.
like 85% to 65%. Both teams defensively blitz over 30% of the time. So you're going to see a lot of the same things. To me, it comes down to the Lions have done a better job taking the ball away. And the Lions, to me, if you look at every position group, they're better in every category. The argument would be quarterback. Like Jaden's had a better year than Jared Goff, but Jared Goff, he's a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He's a great quarterback. He'll be able to function. And even if he gets shut down a little bit, they have so many ways to beat you offensively. If the Commanders are going to win this game, Jaden has to play out of his mind. He has been all year long, but he's going to have to play perfect. He's going to have to play out of his mind. I'm kind of with you. I like the Lions too. I'm going to go Commanders because it's 9.5 points, and I want to kind of homer them a little bit. It's going to be a very tough game for the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, I just after playing the Buccaneers and winning by a field goal. I mean, I don't think they got a chance with the Lions.
That's another thing too.
And you get like Anzalone back, like.
And the Commanders have
Aaron
had multiple
Glenn?
kickers this year. Multiple kickers. They've kind of cycled through a revolving door, whether it be injuries or guys just got to get the hell out of there. This time of year, when you're in those close games, you need a kicker that you can trot out there and feel very comfortable with. They don't have that right now. And I know it seems like very small, but like those 3 points matter every single time. If you have the opportunity to get on the field and walk away with points, whether it be 3 or 6, like that is so incredibly important. And the Commanders don't have a guy that they feel comfortable with. I mean,
now
I don't know who the kicker is. What's the kicker's name? What's that? Zane Gonzalez, and he's got the OCD, right? Like he's got the white band, he's taking his shoes off, all that.
So
could you imagine a hurricane situation where he can't do all of those things, and they're rushing the offense off the field and getting the field goal team on, and he's got to go through all those things. That's I don't have OCD, but I'm assuming like you got to do your shit to feel comfortable about.
He's gonna be
just to counter that a little bit. Both of these offensives, their success rate on drives is over 50% on putting points on the board.
That's awesome.
But they going into the Lions den. Like, this is about to be.
I know.
I just think with Ben Johnson probably leaving, Aaron Glenn probably leaving, both for head coaching jobs. Like, this is the year where it's all in for Detroit.
This is it.
Like, Washington's building on this.
Yeah.
They're excited for the future.
Lions
they got a big playoff win against the Bucs last week.
The Lions they about to make a lot of changes at the coaching staff after this year. Because a lot of these dudes about to get head coaching jobs. Like
Yeah.
for
You got some
real.
fun stats on here, Mitch. You got some fun stats about the spread.
Read that long one.
Yeah, the long one. Home teams in division round coming off a bye are 33, 42, and 1 against the spread. That's 44% since 2003. They are 17, 24, and 1 against the number, 42% as favorites of 7 or more points off of a bye. Even against teams playing in the second straight postseason road game, the teams coming off the bye is still 15, 22, and 1 against the spread, 41%.
So all those stats.
Just
are
that
going
data
towards
makes
the
me
game.
feel okay about the Commanders, but
Right.
I don't
line.
go for that because this the
but
playoffs
that's
and
like
this shit
taking
is.
one section. Lions, they're 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 against the Commanders. They're 14-5 against the spread in the last 19 games. They're 5-1 in their last 6 against NFC East opponents.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of different
No,
stats you can go
like
and look
the
at.
Lions.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
like you can say all, you
keep
can
going
read
back
all
and
this,
forth.
and it confuses you every time.
Yeah.
All right. So just to be clear, I'm going Lions. You're going Commanders. You're
Commanders.
going Lions.
Don't feel good, but go Commanders.
Yeah. And it's a great week for you to kind of tail you, actually. Because
You
you're
think so?
1-9 week. Yeah, a lot of people will go and say, oh, I'm fading everything he does. But really, like, this is like basically a trampoline. Like, you've hit the bottom of the trampoline, now you're able to sail into the air.
Yeah, you hope so. I hope so.
I hope not, because we're kind of off. We're different right now.
Yeah. Rams at the Eagles. Eagles favored by 6.5. The over/under on this game is 44.5 points. I think this is a lock, Eagles.
Yeah. Let's break it down a little bit, though.
I think this is
Because
a lock, Eagles.
Matthew Stafford in the playoffs. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua.
Kyren Williams.
Defense is the bottom half in every category right now.
They've been playing much better as of
They've
late.
been playing
though.
much
You
better
got
of late.
Fisk,
But if you just
Young,
look
Verse.
statistically, I think their best, I think overall defense, they're like 17, and then after that kind of fizzles out.
9 sacks last week.
9.
9 sacks last week.
Eagles have a
Nine.
fantastic run game. They have a great offensive line. They got receivers that can burn you, that can get the yak,
That's physical.
physical.
I mean, shit.
But Sean McVay,
I like Sean McVay. I
Sean
like Sean
McVay.
and what he does with his team on getting those guys prepared.
gets them prepared. But you're flying across the country, going to Philadelphia.
Philly.
Philadelphia, guy just
Cold.
got fired for calling a girl a "see you next Tuesday" during a game. A Packers girl, poor girl, was just getting absolutely berated.
I thought that was like they faked that though.
No,
right?
that's like a normal thing, is what you're trying to say.
I know
In
it
Philly,
happens.
that's a normal thing.
It happens, but they
But this
did
guy
that
just
on purpose.
gets caught on camera
Yeah.
doing what all Philly fans seem like they do. Not saying
Yeah.
all Philly fans. Well, let's say
No,
80%
most
of Philly
them,
fans.
yeah, that's it.
80% of Philly
Yeah,
fans out
that's
there.
it.
Yeah, I like the Eagles.
I think this is one, too, you can really get caught up in the Rams having a good win over the Vikings.
Yeah.
And it's a prime spot to think, hey, this could be an upset with the Rams.
But does it say all these games? It's like when I take the Chiefs, I'm thinking Houston versus the Chargers. Chargers kind of lost. Their offense played so poorly. And I think kind of the same thing against the Rams last week. Like the Vikings go into an opportunity to get the 1 seed against the Detroit Lions. Shit the bed in that situation. Then they go in this game, and Sam Darnold kind of seems like the same quarterback he was in the last week before. So now the whole narrative around the Vikings was like, hey, were they really good, or did they just have a nice little streak? It's
they're in
it's
a tough
crazy
spot.
how the mind can go in these situations.
Yeah. Because the way Stafford finished the year, he was pretty average, and then he kind of comes alive last week. Like the passing offense is what kept them in the game, along with their defense getting 9 sacks. But a couple of little stats out there for you. Stafford is 2-4 in January and 1-6 in the rain. There's some winter mix, snow, rain that's going to be happening in Philly. It's going to be cold. I like Philly because it's the number 1 pass defense in the league. They got sacks everywhere across the board in their entire front 7. Like Dean and Bond can get after your ass up the middle, and they fly all around making plays everywhere. They got a great back end. I think the pass offense gets shut down, which is that's what would keep the Rams in the game. I like the Eagles a lot because, again, this isn't, the Vikings offensive line was banged up. Oh boy, their left tackle went down, or right tackle goes down mid-game.
O'Neal.
Yeah, they kind of have some issues during the game. Like the Eagles have a hell of an offensive line. They're smart, they're athletic, they're big, they're strong, they're physical. That's what I'm going to lean on. I like them. I like the Eagles to cover. I think this is a prime
Nakobe
spot.
Dean is out. He tore his
He
patella
tore,
tendon.
yeah, he got hurt last
Who's this?
Nakobe Dean, the
Yeah,
linebacker you just said, he's out.
He's out, yo.
Damn. He's a hell of a player.
Right.
He's gonna have a long
I think
career.
these two big spreads you look at with the Lions and the Eagles, like it comes down to the trenches and like the trench warfare in there. When you get into the cold weather, the rain, the snow, whatever it might be, that's when you lean on the big uglies and you really draw a line in the sand from a toughness category. The Eagles have that. They have the offensive line to get that done.
And when the Eagles beat their ass earlier in the year, they only gave up 1 sack. So, yeah, you can, again, get caught up in this young defensive line that's gotten better throughout the year. We're going to see because they're watching all the tape. I'm sure the offensive line room from the Eagles are looking at watching the Vikings being like, how do you get beat in these one-on-one situations, not pick up these stunts? I think they'll be ready to go. I like the Eagles to cover.
Man, I'm taking the Rams. I think Matt Stafford, gonna come through, get this. I'm taking them for the cover. I think the Eagles should win, but if they do happen to win this game, I know the Rams are looking forward to playing Detroit, and that's what I'm looking for.
Staffy.
I want to see that Rams Detroit. I want to see the Rams versus Detroit
Staff
game.
going back to Detroit
Going
again.
back to Detroit
That would be
again.
awesome. That would be awesome.
I want that. So I'm taking the Rams, man, to cover. Hopefully they win the game, but. Again, y'all said a lot of good things about the Eagles. They are a very good team. Got a
good ball club.
Great players over there.
And it's so different from last year. Like, the records are very similar, but, like, the way they started and finished the season are, like, polar opposites.
Yeah.
Like, they are so strong at the end of the year. They have that confidence. Sirianni seems like he's firing. Like, I like the Eagles. I like the Eagles a lot. I think it ends next week against the Lions. That's my first initial thoughts. We'll have to watch these games.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm with it.
Last one of the weekend, the big dog, Ravens at Buffalo.
Yeah.
The spread on this, the Ravens are favored by 1.5 in Buffalo. The over-under on this game is 51.5.
Steve, in your opinion? No, I'm just fucking around.
What a shot. Holy shit.
His team is the Bills.
I know, his team is the Bills.
Yeah.
Shout out to Steven.
Man,
Glad you're
his
doing
team
well,
is the
brother. We
Bills.
love you.
Hey, you know I fucks with you, Steven. Come on, man.
Go ahead.
Oh, shit. I'll let y'all go. Y'all go ahead, because y'all know who I'm going with, so I'll let y'all go.
I like the Ravens. I love both these teams. Like, I'm weirdly, I got a futures on the Ravens. I put that in last week because I can't wait for you to bring out that data.
Yeah.
I just think it's the Ravens, man. They beat the Bills' ass earlier this year in Week 4,
Yeah.
and this is when their defense wasn't even operating the
They
way they're
wasn't even
operating.
on
now.
And
point
their offense. Oh, you just said offense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their offense was just
They
starting
didn't
to catch
use
stride.
Derrick
on
Henry.
Trying to figure out what's it like with Derek.
They did whoop the Bills, but again, the way the defense was playing earlier in the year compared to the way they're playing now, Josh Allen's going to have an incredible game. They're going to have to find a way to have explosive plays. They're going to have like a Taylor Lewan-esque Vegas trip with explosive plays to win this game. I really think so because their run game, Lamar, that defense, they're firing right now. They seem like they have the confidence. And they have the team, they have the outfit to go into Buffalo and beat this team. So I like the Ravens.
Yeah, and their defense I think they gave up like 40-plus points multiple times during the year. They're the only team to do that.
Milano is back. He was flying around
and
last
we talked
week.
about Milano last year. We love talking
That
about Milano, the olive oil.
Milano.
Beautiful individual.
Zay
Beautiful
Flowers
skin
is
tone.
back this week.
Is he back?
Yeah.
Because I know they added Dante again on the roster. Dante Johnson.
Yeah, Deontay
So I didn't
Johnson.
know Deontay Johnson. I didn't know if Flowers was coming back
Yeah,
because
Flowers
of
is
that
going to be active this week, which again gives them another wrinkle in their game because they were killing Pittsburgh with that zone read.
That zone read
pulling
was
cat zone read, Lamar running everywhere.
yeah.
But I think the Bills are going to have a tough time keeping up.
Yeah.
I want to shout out Skip from Vegas there, Jackie. Skip sent me a nice little piece of data. 2001, a 28-year-old Trent Dilford won the Super Bowl for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
Fast forward 12 years later, Flacco, 28 years old, wins the Super Bowl for the Ravens. Now we are 12 years from Flacco winning the Super Bowl, and Lamar Jackson just celebrated his 28th birthday.
Oh, wow.
Which brings in, time. We're really just in a
That is
simulation at this point, right?
crazy.
It's a cool piece of data.
Crazy.
But for Raven fans, it's an interesting question. If you are watching the show, it's like, okay, let's say you go and you win the Super Bowl this year. Based on history, you have to wait another 12 years.
Yeah.
Right? Would you rather win the Super Bowl this year or lose it and then break up that little history and maybe you can chunk out a couple in the next couple of years?
Fuck that, win it now.
You
don't have
a. You always
hey,
win
you
it
never
now.
have
But
next
shout out
year.
to Skip on that piece of
You
data. He sent me
never
that via
have next
Instagram,
year.
and I saw that. I was like, that is exactly what you're looking for.
That's
when you get into the
fire.
playoff times.
That's
what are you
fire.
looking for? And that is awesome.
That was a good
12
stat.
years apart.
Because you had a
28
good
years
Taylor
old.
Swift one last year with the
Yeah,
Chiefs.
the 13. 1 and 3 seed.
Yeah.
Yep, Taylor Swift's favorite number, 13.
13,
Brock
yeah.
Purdy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, that didn't come through either.
What do you mean that didn't come through?
I think we ended up
Oh,
taking
you're
the-
saying it didn't win, like it didn't
I think
come
we
to
ended
light?
up taking the 49ers because of it.
Yeah, because you said because of the number.
Right.
Yeah, Brock Reed.
So you
that's
flip
right.
it because it's like a
Because it
whole,
went into
it's
like
a mind game.
It went into
the
Brock
Niners
Purdy
shoulda
demon
won
mode in the
that
video.
game.
Yeah.
They got
Dog.
cheated. Fuck that.
So
That
we're all
was-
Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah, we're Ravens.
I didn't.
like the Ravens.
I thought y'all was gonna go Bills because I thought we was gonna split it up.
And
but,
listen, I
yeah.
love Josh Allen. I love the Bills. That's an awesome ball club out there. But I just think something's a little bit different when you put a guy like Derrick Henry in there. Like you watch the Ravens the last couple of years, they go in with all this steam. Lamar Jackson's a front runner for the MVP on a consistent basis at this point.
Consistent.
But they get into the playoffs and they try to beat them through the air. And you watch them last week and it's like, no, they're like, fuck that. Let's let the ground game open up the air for us. And then you got two tight ends, Likely and Andrews, that now you can work from the hash marks out. And it's just great to have. You can dish it off, that you can give it to Derek, hit a quick out with Andrews, and you got Likely in the corner, Lamar Jackson, when the play starts to break down, there's no one better in the league of extending plays. I really like the Ravens this year. I think they're doing special things. I'm a fan of
Imagine
it.
you got to tackle Derek in the cold.
Yeah,
hey.
it's brutal.
You saw with Pittsburgh, they started letting him go. They
Yeah.
go
Ole.
ahead.
Ole.
6-8 yards at a time.
They didn't want to tackle him.
Falling forward.
I
bro.
like the Ravens. I like the Ravens and I like the points too. 51.5. I like the points.
I mean, I think
His Bills are going to score.
They gonna
The Bills
score.
are going to score, but the Ravens defense is good.
They are good. And
But I can
physical.
see them both putting some points up now. All right,
wanna
let's
kick
get to the
off
fun
this
part.
Fireballsy.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, our ballsy parlays this week are brought to us by the one and only Fireball. Fireball is a perfect shot for game day, whether you're buying those sneaky little shooters before going into the stadium or going big with the Fireball cake for your tailgate, pre-game shot in the tailgate lot, or a celebratory touchdown shot at the bar. No matter what, it's guaranteed to ignite your game day, fellas.
Let's get spicy.
Let's get spicy.
Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Doesn't matter. Yeah, I can start rattling them off.
Rattle them off.
Playoff Willie
Let 'em
Parlay.
know.
Back in action. All right, fellas. Hear me out. Hear me out. I believe it's 11 legs that I have. And I was up until midnight putting this together. I'm rocking Scotty, putting her down, letting her know, hey, Daddy might have a stick of dynamite this weekend that's going to shock the world. Leg number 1.
Explosives and children, man. Nothing goes better together.
Rams at Eagles over 43.5 points. Jalen Hurts to have 40-plus rushing yards in the game. I think that defensive line gets after him a little bit. He's going to have to make plays with his legs. He said over 40-plus, like double-digit times this year. Okay. Leg number 3. Eagles -6. Leg number 4. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 80-plus reception yards, receiving yards. The Washington-Detroit game, over 47.5 points. Jaden Daniels,
Uh-oh. Sherman's allergic to money.
over 250 yards passing. Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown. Derrick Henry, over 97.5 rushing yards. Houston, Kansas City, over 41.5 total points. And Nico Collins, anytime touchdown.
You got some terrifying picks in there. But give us the odds.
That's the payoff Willie Parlay. That is plus 1,908,824.
Okay, 19,000. 19,824.
Almost plus 20,000.
There we go.
Plus 1,900.
1,800. 824.
Let's get paid. Let's get paid. Come on now.
All right, I like it. If you
That'll be in the sports.
want to get crazy, go and do that one. I want a little more conservative for you. This one's only.
You want a more conservative
You
one?
want a more
Here's plus
conservative parlay.
16,000.
This one's plus 16,000. It's only 9 legs, so it's a lot easier to look at. This is if you feel comfortable with the picks that I chose as well. I got Houston Texans plus 8.5. Love that. We're gonna move the line on the Detroit Lions. They are now winning that game 6.5 or more. So now we just got to win by a touchdown. That always makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. When you get in that 8 range, sometimes you get down to the last drive, they score a touchdown. It's like, well, fuck, they won by 7, but not 8.
Yeah.
Okay, 6.5. Jamar Gibbs, anytime touchdown. We love it.
Hey,
We
all
love
day.
that one.
That's-
We feel good about that
He
one.
about to get paid.
Now, sticking with the same game, Sam Laporta plus 50 yards receiving. All we got to get is
plus.
50. Dink and dunk, let him know what's going on. How about a couple extra yards of yak?
That's
I
easy.
thought about going into the quarterback category for rush yards, but I cannot stand taking knees and sacks and having that go against your rush count. That always freaks me out a little bit.
Love Laporta.
Ravens, minus 1.5. Now, I want you guys to know I took the Ravens when they're in -1. That's okay. It is what it is. This still feels very comfortable to me. We talked about their run game. I love it. Saquon Barkley, anytime touchdown.
Easy.
Philly, if you want to win the game, you want to win the game by a lot, you give the ball to Saquon Barkley. You took away his rushing record, go ahead and give him a couple of touchdowns. That's what
Imagine
we want.
every leg hits and then Saquon breaks it and then just slides down.
Right.
He will do that.
He
He's
did
a
that
smart
last week.
football
He did
player.
it
Yeah,
last
that's
week.
what I'm saying.
Saquon Barkley, more than 25 yards receiving. You're
Some
probably
little
thinking,
dump
hey,
off.
Yeah,
dump off.
screens.
Couple of, hey, yep, just check down Charlie's.
One screen,
call a
if
couple
he
of
break
screens.
30,
let
that's
him
it.
have it real quick. Money in the bank.
You would say more than 5 receptions?
AJ Brown, how many receptions did AJ have last week?
1.
Uno. For those of you who speak Spanish, uno. I got him plus 6 receptions this time. AJ's going in the locker room. He's happy they won a game. At the same time, he's like, I really want that fucking ball. And, Hurts walks over and pats him on the ass. Goes, brother, we're going to get you a couple. They go in that little team meeting room, the offensive meeting room. They're going to say, hey, AJ, we're getting you started pretty quick. Couple of bubbles, couple of this, couple of slants. Buddy, be ready. You're in our top 15 plays. We're going to get you the ball multiple times. I feel good about that one. That probably is the scariest one, though, however, because you're just kind of praying and hoping and wanting for receptions. Last one, go ahead and check this box off real quick. That's Derrick Henry anytime touchdown.
Easy.
You lock them boys in. I can promise you that you have the opportunity to get plus 1,600, 814. So almost plus 17,000. Almost plus 17,000. I feel good.
You know what I had in my stick of dynamite before I tapered it down and went a little more conservative so we could kind of hand the money to people.
Yeah.
I had Derrick Henry 2 touchdowns in there.
Oh,
I mean, that's doable.
I don't
I know
hate
it's doable.
What you mean?
the rush yard thing is
really bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to say, I don't want to get too crazy.
right.
Because the 30,000 didn't hit last week, but maybe the 20,000, that might be my sweet spot.
Yeah, when I saw those odds
Now,
last week, I was like, fuck that.
Here's
I'm
what I
making
love
this
about the
bet.
DraftKings Sportsbook app. When you start putting in parlays and you want to go up to 9 legs or whatever, it'll start to section games off, like same game parlays. I do love that. A nice little plus 140, Ravens minus 1.5, Derrick Henry anytime touchdown. That's a nice little 140 for you, little sauce, a little appetizer
saucer.
as you're jumping into this 9-leg parlay.
Yeah.
Another one that I really like.
Oh, you're going to go through all the same game parlays.
Yep. Detroit 6.5. Sam Laporta 50 yards plus receiving. Jamar Gibbs anytime touchdown. That's 284. I got an 850 in here. You guys don't get to hear it.
What I appreciate from
Will.
the DraftKings Sportsbook, because they know you're going to lose, but they give you a no-sweat bet. And I lost this $250 bet last week, but now I got to put that $250 in no-sweat bet, get to put it back in the book.
Oh, in the book.
I put $250 on that parlay, so I'm set. I put $250 in, I'm set to win over $50,000.
That's insane.
God, that makes you
That's
feel
how
good.
you flip it on their head.
You trying to bet
Right.
him though, right?
They say, hey, don't worry about that. We'll give you a free
You trying
no
to
sweat
bet
bet.
him,
Boom.
right?
Got your ass.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, don't give me an extra life, because I'm going to do something with it.
There he goes.
All right, Bet the Boys Parlay, brought to us by who we were just. Oh, here we go.
So can we bet that your bet won't win?
I don't think so, since it's like player props, right?
The odds, the bookkeeper, McPherson bookkeeping just came in. He said the odds are minus 800 betting against Will.
Oh, no shit. He's sitting over there with the sunglasses on. Minus 800. Yeah, I mean, look. I feel great about it. This is instinct. This is instinct. This is when instinct kicks in.
Sometimes
You get
the
primal.
data will mess you up. You
Yeah.
start looking at too much data, you get all wacky.
Fuck you up, man.
Get
I had
Men
to
in
go with
Black.
feel. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But the Bet the Boys Parlay is brought to us by DraftKings. The NFL playoffs. We're talking about the NFL playoffs. You bet we are. Get in on the action at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is the key to winning in the NFL playoffs, and the key to you scoring big is betting on them at DraftKings, the number one place to bet touchdowns. Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6 points for you. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. Here's another reason to watch your favorite players crush it in the playoffs. New customers that bet $5 will get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Score big during the NFL playoffs with the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app, use code LOCKER. That's code LOCKER for new customers to get $200 instantly in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. This one's going to seem like too easy because it's, we're only
But
going
no
through
guarantees.
like-
We can't do guarantees. No guarantees. No guarantees. No guarantees.
We did say guarantee. Have we ever said guaranteed?
No.
Can't say guarantee.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
There's like some fine print in there. You can't do.
You can't say guarantee.
Can't say guarantee.
At all.
1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Right.
Yeah. 1-800-GAMBLER.
How do we feel? What do you want?
How do you feel about this one? James Cook. I mean, Mitch gave us some nice little plugs here. James Cook, you got Derrick Henry, you got Saquon.
I mean, goddamn. Let's take the easiest one. Let's walk away with a dub.
We gave you Will and I's parlays are great.
Huh?
Like we're like
I'm talking about.
you got plus 36,000 between me and
Yeah,
Will.
but you got so many legs you got to hit. That's why they make it that way. Obviously, the odds are hitting all of them is harder. Obviously.
I like David Montgomery.
I love it. I like
Back in
Jamar
the
Gibbs
action.
better. I like Jamar Gibbs better.
Jameer?
Jameer Gibbs, excuse me, Jameer Gibbs.
I'm going Derrick Henry because if you want to win, let Derrick spin. That's just how I believe it.
You can go Montgomery, Derrick.
Throw in that second one.
Which one?
That second one.
Travis Kelce?
Yeah.
David Montgomery, Travis Kelce, Derrick Henry.
How many touchdowns?
Lock it in.
How many touchdowns do Travis have this year, though?
Yeah, that's those odds are gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be crazy.
Right, and playoff Travis. Playoff
True.
Travis.
He is playoff Travis.
Playoff
which
Travi.
we know he has the most receptions and I think than anybody in the playoffs.
Right. I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Is that true, right? Because I thought he.
Do we have those odds
He
on those
topped
three?
Jerry Rice, right? He topped Jerry Rice last year, correct? I thought.
Love it. Take it. Run with it.
Most.
Boom.
Yeah.
JP's fit's throwing me off.
I
so
just
much
said
today.
Jerry Rice.
JP's fit. That's kind of sweet.
I mean, that may go because he is playoff Travis. We all know, and Taylor Swift gonna be in the building. Shit gonna be crazy.
Arrowhead's
That may
gonna be
be a
rocking.
good one. Yeah. Oh,
Arrowhead
Arrowhead
is
always
crazy.
rocking.
Three in a
When
row,
is it
bro,
not
right? We're
rocking?
going for 3 in a row.
When is it
That's
not
nasty.
rocking? Y'all didn't have to walk through.
Tell you when
there.
it wasn't rocking. Week 1, 2014. That's when it wasn't rocking, Delanie. When we beat that ass.
It was rocking until we.
2014.
Hey, it was rocking until we
beat that ass is what we did.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce, David Montgomery, and Derrick Henry.
Plus 498.
Love it.
Ooh,
Love that.
Jesus.
They don't understand playoff Travis. Vegas does not understand playoff Travis.
Plus 498.
Plus 498.
We'll rock that one.
Beautiful.
That's a good bet.
Should we quickly go over college?
Yeah,
Let's quickly go over college. Let's jump in there. One game left.
Ooh.
Ohio State, Notre Dame. What's the line?
Brought
right
to
here?
us by DraftKings. From football playoffs to
-8.5.
college, pro basketball, the rush of hockey. What a time to be a sports fan. What a time to be alive. It's all happening. You can get in all the action of the sports you love at the DraftKings Sportsbook. That means unlimited opportunities to place your first bet, and DraftKings makes it easy. Again, new customers, you bet $5, you will get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use code LOCKER. New customers will get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 only on the DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Ohio State, Notre Dame. Notre Dame is favored by what?
8.5.
Notre Dame is not favored. Ohio State
Ohio State
is
is favored.
Ohio State is favored by 8.5. The over-under on that game?
46.5.
I think it's Ohio State. I saw this spicy video by Marcus Freeman at halftime talking about the 7-point game. Like he was just feeding the boys some wisdom. That got me a little lit up and like, hey, Notre Dame might be able to pull this off, but I don't want to overthink it. Ohio State they're much more talented.
Yeah.
They're going to be challenged in the run game against Notre Dame, but I
Yep.
think they're up for the task.
But Love's got that. He's got that right knee brace. Still didn't stop him from hurdling a guy and losing 2 yards on a rush, but like still.
I think Jack Sawyer's going to get crazy,
Yeah, he's gonna go
make
nuts.
a big play.
He's gonna go nuts.
I like Ohio State to win the national title, -8.5. I like him to cover.
I mean, it's a tough one. You got Notre Dame ain't won one since Lou Holtz and since 1988. I want to say won the national title, and then Ohio State they ain't won one since 2014 or something like that, or 2004. I mean, goddamn, this is just tough. I feel like both teams are hungry. Both teams want it, and it's hard to go against a former player who played the game at a high level. Obviously, we know he went to Ohio State. Notre Dame head coach went to Ohio State, coached at Purdue. Now he's the head coach for Notre Dame.
What a moment.
What a moment.
What a moment.
What a moment. The play,
Coaching his daddy against the team he played for.
it's like, damn, I want to root for Notre Dame so bad. Y'all know how I've been rooting for Notre Dame this whole time. But damn, Ohio State.
They're so good.
They're so good.
They're so good on both sides of the ball, and they have like their entire defense could go to the NFL.
Yeah, right now.
Their best players are freshmen.
Shit
Will
is
Howard's
crazy.
slinging the ball around pretty well.
There's like this side-by-side, too, of the recruits that they have. Like Ohio State has like 10 5-stars on the team, the Notre Dame 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely, you look at the talent discrepancy, it's very, very one-sided towards Ohio State. I love Marcus Freeman. I love the fact that he went to Ohio State. I saw a really cool story with him sitting down with, is it Jim Tressel? That's the old Ohio State coach. Mm-hmm. He was sitting down with Jim Tressel and he was telling a story about him being at Ohio State, knowing that his career was probably over. It was probably like, wasn't good enough to go to the NFL and he really wanted to get into coaching. So he approached Jim Tressel about being a GA and just going about it. Literally after that conversation, he gets a call from the Indianapolis Colts. He said, hey, come down. We're going to sign you to practice squad. We're going to see how it works out for you. So he gets in his car. He drives 4 or 5 hours from Columbus, Ohio, down to Indianapolis. Meets with them, does a physical. And before he leaves for that drive, he calls Tressel, who's a fantastic coach, by the way. Whether I like Ohio State or not, he was a fantastic coach. And he says, listen, you can play as long as you can. And coaching will always be here for you. You'll always have a job here. He goes down to Indianapolis. He does the workout, starts to get his physical done, and they find this thing in his heart, like an enlarged artery in his heart. I'm not saying that correctly. Essentially, they sit him down and say, we're not able to sign you because of this, and all 31 other teams are not going to be able to sign you either. So he knew right then and there. He gets back in his car, starts driving up to Columbus, and he talks about the story, and he's like, I'm literally smiling to myself because even though this small little opportunity seemed like it presented itself, it was always coaching. And I always want to stay in the game, and I love the game. I love Marcus Freeman. I love his
And the
halftime
world kind
speech.
of laid it out for him.
Yeah, like he referred to it as a God thing. Like this was basically God telling me I am supposed to be coaching. I hate the fact that Ohio State's going to win this game. I hate the fact that Ohio State's going to cover this game.
I'm going Notre Dame just because of that. That shit.
I mean,
I know. It's like
yeah.
I'd be excited to see Notre Dame.
I would
win.
love
I
it.
just don't
And
see
it
how they
really
pull
is. This
off.
is, to me, when I was in the Big Ten, Notre Dame was so involved with Big Ten teams that I view Notre Dame as a Big Ten. This is a Big Ten national championship.
Yeah.
Now, since then, they've kind of played more ACC games. You kind of go back to 2012, and when the SEC was relevant, Notre Dame played in the national championship game against the Crimson Tide, and they lost the game 42-14. They had great leadership. They had a lot of talent in that team. It just didn't work out for them. I want it to be competitive. I just think when you see the fire that's been lit under Ohio State's ass and what they've been able to do, and just when you seem like Texas might come back and do it, there's that strip sack fumble by Sawyer for the touchdown. It's tough to say they're not going to win it. It's tough to say they're not going to win it, and they're not going to cover.
I'm just going to do that. I know that Ohio State, I'm going to take Notre Dame to cover.
How cool is that story?
It was good.
Yeah,
That was a good
it's a
story.
Really,
I like
I saw that
that.
as I was literally driving in. I had it, and I was kind of just like listening to it.
You don't think he's playing that right now for the team?
No, I don't. I think Marcus Freeman is not making it about himself. Guys, you guys want to believe? Watch me for a second.
Watch this
couldn't do this.
conversation I had with Coach Tressel.
Yeah.
I'm here.
But it's
Look
cool.
where I
It's a
got.
cool
Look where
story.
I-
And I'm stoked for Notre Dame. I never grew up a big fan of Notre Dame. I know Sherman's not a big fan of Notre Dame. I know you grew up a huge Notre Dame fan. Want it for Shane. Want it for the people that, in South Bend who treat us like we played there when we go in. But it's tough to
Won
say.
it for college football tradition.
Yeah.
And just to add to
You
that
say
too, it's
won?
like, do what?
Would you say
Want it
college?
for college
College football, like college football tradition, like Notre Dame win the national title.
Yeah,
like
you want
wanted
it for-
to see
okay,
it happen.
yeah,
You want to
yeah.
see like this come back around, and to add off that too, like how just you know he's such a good dude that the players will love to play for, because the moment that he got announced when not Chip Kelly, Brian Kelly left, like they were all ecstatic. Like hoorah in the gym, the strength coach had him up. They announced that he was going to be it, and everybody rallied around him. Like, you know, this is a dude that they love to play for, that they would die for.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I love
JP,
it.
you have something?
The storyline nobody is talking about is Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz has been chirping Ryan Day since day one.
Really?
And yesterday he came at him with this one. He said, if Notre Dame doesn't win, it's because we want to preserve Ryan Day's job. I was originally going to be at the game in spirit, but now I'll be dragging my body along as well. Lou Holtz has been chirping him, bro, and it is. And Ryan Day, you remember when he lost his mind after they beat them, like a couple years ago? Lou Holtz is living rent free in his head, and Lou Holtz, he was born in 1937. The last time Notre Dame beat Ohio State was in 1936. In his lifetime, he's never seen Notre Dame beat Ohio State. That might change this weekend.
That's a beautiful stat, JP. Dude,
all
all white JP is different, man.
Yeah, all white JP.
Hey, all right.
Eminem.
Slim Hovey.
Get in there.
JP Hovey. JP Hovey.
Yeah, suck my dick, JP.
But I wanted to come in here and find something to say Ohio State's going to lose this game.
It's just
money
hard
line,
to
Notre
say
Dame.
that.
Like, it's great. And
I'm so ready to get caught up in the emotion and just go Notre Dame money line.
do it right now.
I'm so ready.
I'll do it with you. Do it for Lou Holtz. Do it for Lou Holtz. He's thinking about you right now.
Let's do it.
Money line?
Do it for Holtz. Do it for Freeman.
He's doing money line, Notre Dame.
Let's go, me too.
Notre Dame money line.
Notre Dame money line.
Yeah, let's burn our money.
Name of the father.
Sure, let's burn the fuck out of our money right now. All because we want to put our heart on the table.
Father, son, and Marcus Freeman.
I got Notre
Beautiful.
Notre
Marcus
Dame.
Freeman,
I'm taking
amen.
the points though, not money line. Just I'm gonna play you smart.
Delanie, not a rider guy. Not a team guy.
They not my team. Central Missouri.
All right, this is our Ballsy Fan Call-In this week, presented by Fireball. The Ballsy College Pick of the Week is sponsored by Fireball. Fireball is a perfect shot for game day, whether you're buying those sneaky little shooters before going into the stadium or going big with a Fireball keg for your tailgate. Whether it's a pregame shot in the tailgate lot or a celebratory touchdown shot at the bar. No matter what, it's guaranteed to turn up your game day. This Ballsy Fan Call-In comes from who, Mitch?
This comes from Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey.
Want to thank Matthew.
Thank you, Matthew McConaughey.
We've been a fan of the show for a long time.
We don't know. We don't know. They're going to show us.
Oh.
Like I'm trying to reserve my emotion. I think that's exciting. But if it's not him, it's going to be like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it better be him.
It's your Uncle Matthew. Not really your uncle, but it is Matthew McConaughey, and heard the boys wanted me on the bus. What kind of bus do you guys have? Is there enough room for just me, or can I bring some friends, some family? It's all about being with friends and family. Playoff football, staying warm. Outside, it's getting colder and colder, but they're talking about this global warming. The world's almost over. The NFL season's almost over. I like that word, though. A lot of people are scared of over. The over doesn't scare me. I'm taking the over in every fucking game this weekend. I'm talking NFL and college. That's plus 2,500 something odds. I like those odds. I'll take those odds. See you boys in the DraftKings Sportsbook. All right.
Oh, bravo, Matthew. Bravo, Matthew. Thank you.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Incredible.
I will say I do like the overs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all your entire parlay.
I love the overs. I love the overs.
So McConaughey's parlay is Commanders versus Lions over 55.5, Texas Chiefs over 41.5, Ravens Bills over 51.5, Rams Eagles over 43.5, Ohio State Notre Dame over 46.5, a total of 2,543. I love it.
Like it.
Well done, Sharon.
Well done. Well
Matthew
done.
McConaughey. Thank you, Matthew McConaughey.
Thank you, Mr. McConaughey.
Come on, Bussin. Hey, hell of a show.
Hell of a show.
Hell of a show.
Thank you guys as always. We'll be back next week. College football will be over.
Yeah.
Should we have a moment of silence? Thank you.
Thank you, college football.
Next week, AFC, NFC Championship Week. We'll see you then. Big hugs, tidy kisses. Please subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, and comment. Like 5 stars. Big hugs, tidy kisses.